Guys, I've been playing Battlefield, and I've got to say, Call of Duty is in a lot of trouble. And some of you may disagree and say, no, it's not the same game, Battlefield's its own thing. But come on, guys, let's look at it and be real. The developers are coming for the Call of Duty players. They want to take them from COD. And really, I think what highlights that is there are small game modes in Battlefield that feel kind of similar to playing COD, like Squad Deathmatch, for example. It's a fun mode that I enjoy. I like the smaller maps and the infantry gameplay, and so it's a mode that I play a lot. Actually, ironically, I really like a lot of the small modes in Battlefield. I always have. So that's just one of the things I enjoy playing. I play the bigger modes with friends, but when I'm alone, I'm probably going to play the smaller modes that are out there. And they are a lot like COD. So I've had to start asking myself, what does COD bring to the table that Battlefield doesn't? Now, to be able to preface this, for Call of Duty, my favorite thing was the gunplay. And I would use kill streaks that would keep me on the ground as the soldier. I wouldn't really do too much of the become the helicopter gunner or things like that, things that took you out. I would always just play the game with the kill streaks that would help me be infantry, like the UAVs or counter UAVs, right? So that is really what I was about. And I don't mind those things being gone. I actually am fine with it because then I don't have to be playing for the UAVs or wonder if the enemy had a UAV, look to the sky to blow one up, which I kind of like. I just enjoy infantry combat in a game like this. And Battlefield does it really well. I actually don't really have too many complaints about how they do their infantry combat. I like the revive system. I love the shotgun, by the way. It's just a fun gun in a shooter. They don't need to nerf it or change it at all. I think it's fine the way it is because it's just fun, which is what video games are supposed to be. Fun. So I enjoy the gunplay a lot. It reminds me of old COD, and I kind of like that, honestly. I've kind of missed that in Call of Duty now. Especially just, I don't need to deal with people flying around. It's kind of ridiculous to me, and that's just my opinion. I don't want to deal with jetpack flying enemies and what have you otherwise, which there have been a few Call of Duties that have done that. They've been a real miss for me. But yeah, so Battlefield has these modes that are like Call of Duty, these small game modes: Team Deathmatch, Squad Deathmatch, King of the Hill, and some other modes that are really competing for the space. And on top of that, you'd have to be blind to not see this one. Battlefield putting in the free-to-play Battle Royale. Right, the core of Call of Duty lately. Warzone is COD's baby, and Battlefield is coming for it. Now, I personally haven't played the mode yet. It just recently came out. But I will try it out pretty soon, I'm sure, and see if it's good, bad. We'll see. Honestly, not a big Battle Royale person, so it's not really a big thing for me. But I just have to note that it is something that Battlefield is using to try and get more of Call of Duty's players, and making it free so that they have more players. And that's kind of awesome, honestly. Call of Duty is going to have to make some changes if they want to keep up with shooters nowadays. Now, I can't believe Call of Duty is still popular Here are some of my reasonings. Right, so Call of Duty, of course, it's a good shooter. It plays well. It is fun, which is probably why they keep their player base, but come on. Call of Duty has made too many mistakes. When they released old Call of Duty on Game Pass, I don't know if you heard about this news, but this was absolutely wild to me. The coding allowed for hackers to get full access to your computer, right? Completely destroy your computer, essentially, if you played the old Call of Duties on Game Pass. To me, that was insane. Like, who lets that happen, and how are people okay with it? There's no way we skirted past that, right? I don't care if the new Call of Duties have the proper coding or whatever. They should have been there before releasing games like that on Game Pass. That is unacceptable on so many levels. That is a shame to the company, right? I cannot endorse playing a game from someone who thinks that's okay. And on top of that, where Call of Duty is really just falling down for me is monetization. Like, holy cow, are they trying to make money off of Warzone? I get that they're a business, that's what they're about, that's what they want to do, but you do not have to advertise to me in the loadout screen, right? And I don't know how people are chill with that. I think that's pretty crazy and really just an unacceptable, invasive way to sell your product, and it's annoying, right? So those are kind of some of the reasons why I don't see myself going back to Call of Duty unless they make some pretty big changes in that department. Especially, you know, I feel like skill-based matchmaking is such a buzzword nowadays that I still don't fully understand what it means sometimes. I think skill-based matchmaking could be okay, right? Maybe, I guess. I understand the design is to make it so that new players can play your game without getting run over. But I don't know if it's just old school me, but dang, do I not care about skill-based matchmaking in my shooters. Like, get that stuff out of here. I don't care if I get stomped by the enemy. Let me. Like, how else am I gonna get better at the game if I'm always just playing against people my skill? I really feel like skill-based matchmaking kind of just ruins shooters for everyone. When I play games with that idea in mind, even like in the casual modes they have that, it's just annoying to constantly have to play at a certain level at all times, especially when you're just trying to have fun. And in Battlefield, again, I don't actually know if they have skill-based matchmaking or not, but I have been able to just have fun. And I think that's one of the key things about Battlefield for me. And really, skill-based matchmaking, if you want my honest opinion, only belongs in ranked modes. Which, honestly, weren't they already skill-based matchmaking? You could only get matched with people in your rank? So why did they have to add it to all of the modes? I don't know. To me, that was just a huge mistake all around for pretty much all companies involved. But even that said, Call of Duty apparently takes it to the next level. It's not just skill-based matchmaking, but it's matchmaking to try and get you to buy stuff, like put you against a good player who has skins that will make you want to buy that skin. Like, oh my gosh, if they have that and they're so good at the game, I need that and I'll get better at the game. Like, stop. Again, the monetization in Call of Duty is outrageous, guys. It just is. And even with the success of Battlefield, we've seen some fear in Call of Duty's eyes. And that fear has been the fact that they have a mode that doesn't have skill-based matchmaking in their next game, right? In Black Ops 7. And I think that's great. I think that's a step in the right direction. A very, very, very small step, and they got a long, long ways to go. But I still think it's a good step. Now, as a side note for monetization, something that I'm kind of wish-washy about, I don't really care one way or another, is all the drama around skins. Skins in video games, yeah, they've gone crazy. Gone are the days where we just get to unlock skins by playing the game, and that's not really what this is about. I just think it's interesting that there's so much drama around the colored skin in Battlefield right now that's either releasing or is released. The skin, for one, doesn't even seem that crazy to me, but two, I get some of the fear because it's kind of the gateway into the crazier skins, because the developers and DICE will want to make money, so they gotta make room for that. But three, I don't really see them going all the way to the level of Call of Duty skins just yet. Not that I fully care. It's kind of ridiculous, the skins that you have to shoot at in Call of Duty, but it's whatever. It makes them money, so be it. But yeah, I just don't get the outrage there for Battlefield. Now, all of those things being said, right now, Battlefield is my #1 shooter. Let me be honest, it never has been before. I even played Battlefield Bad Company 2. I played some of Battlefield 1, some of 5, some of 2042, and let's see. Oh yeah, I played Battlefield 1942. That game, I actually did enjoy that game a lot. But other than that, it was never my favorite shooter. And if I had to choose between Call of Duty and Battlefield before, I would have chosen Call of Duty. Like 100% I would have. But now, I would choose Battlefield. Without a doubt, I would choose Battlefield over and over again right now. Call of Duty is just in a bad place, and we need to start speaking more with our wallets. I know the comments are going to be filled with Battlefield will be dead in 6 months, or Battlefield will be dead when Call of Duty comes out, but it shouldn't be. And I don't think that it will be. I don't think Battlefield is going to kill Call of Duty, but I also don't think it's going to do nothing to Call of Duty. I think it will do enough that they'll feel it, and they might be a little nervous, especially in the future, making these shooters, realizing people can compete with them, and might start trying to. And I think that's good for consumers. I hope it gives us better quality shooters. Heck, I can't wait for Halo to come back and make some new shooters and some new games, and hopefully be really, really good. One last thing I wanted to bring up, and this is kind of in all shooters and is extremely annoying, but that's hackers and cheaters. Like, they just ruin shooters, guys. It's not fun. Like, if you are one of those people, just log out, right? Go get a different hobby. It's just not enjoyable for you to be cheating in this video game, or any other video game or shooter. But what I will say is, in Call of Duty, I feel like it's infested with cheaters. In Battlefield, I haven't really noticed any, if at all. It'll be interesting to see when I play the Battle Royale if that changes. But I've enjoyed, for the first time, a shooter that feels like I'm not having to constantly deal with cheaters every game. And if there are, and I'm just not noticing them, great. Right, I still love that. So I'm gonna keep playing Battlefield 6. I love this game. For me, it did replace Call of Duty. So at the very least, they lost my $70, $80 or however much I could have spent potentially over just the way Call of Duty has been lately. So let me know your thoughts on Call of Duty and Battlefield and what you think will happen to the shooter genre. Or if you think that Call of Duty will still be the tyrant king on top of all. Because really, guys, Call of Duty's got to get it together. They need to optimize their game the way that Battlefield has. They got to step it up. Right? At least I hope so. If you stuck around, I hope you enjoyed the video. See ya.